All right. Hey, how's everyone doing? My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. This is a Dad Who Draws Wednesday night. We always get together on Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. and draw a portrait together. So I just wanted to say hello to everyone and glad you are all here. If you don't mind, as soon as we get going here, please like and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And if you are looking for a place with fellow artists, you've got to join our Facebook group. I'll put a link in the comments when we're done that you can join us. It is a very fun, active, supportive group. Lots of things going on there all the time, so I'll put a link there. But hey, listen, I'm glad you're here with me. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go step by step, and hopefully by the time we're done, you'll have a nice portrait, or at least you'll have a better idea of how to draw a portrait. And I always say construction leads to lightness. So don't worry don't focus on trying to get it to look like the person. Instead, focus on the construction, all right? And the other thing is, when I first started learning how to draw the portrait, there were so many methods out there. And I actually made my own method by combining a little bit from 3 different people. And what I did was I created a step-by-step method that I wrote out by hand, and that really helped me to excel at my portrait drawing. So I would encourage you to do the same. Take the time, almost create it for yourself, and then it'll be more personal. But in the meantime, let's get in this together. I am live, so if you have any questions, shout it out. And the first thing I want to do here is, whenever I draw a portrait, one thing I like to look for is like straight lines. So for example, this would be a very straight line, and then this backside would be a straight line, and then of course we get this lovely curve of his head. All right, so let's start off with those lines and just keep it loose. It doesn't. All right, so there's my one straight line right there. And then I'm going to kind of try to judge the proportion here. That's a good size going back in space, right? There's the top of his head, and we're going to be able to make an adjustment here by the time that we're done. Okay, so first thing, let's get his brow line in. So there's his brow line. It's going to go right across the brow, and as you can see, the brow line lines up with the top of the ear. But what I want you to do is I want you to really pay attention to this. This would be considered like a negative shape. So that should kind of tell you about how far down to drop that brow line. I'm going to get rid of that. All right, so once we establish our brow line, let's figure out where our center line is. And look at this, right there, that's where your center line. It's going to be the very center of your nose. So looking at our drawing, let's kind of come in here. I'm going to go right about there, maybe. Right about there. All right, the other 2 landmarks, and landmarks are points on the head that help you to establish good proportion. So these next dots I've placed are the temples. The temples, let's drop those in as well. So got that. And then this one's going to be way over here. And here's something I've already just noticed. Check this out. Already my proportion is off, and this is when we need to make changes right at the get-go. So look at this. Let's just say that this right there, I'm going to go with that one right there. And then you look at the center point there in relationship to this other. Now, If I look at the picture, then look at my drawing, let me just go back and forth real quick here. Okay, definitely, I need to move the center line over just a hair. I think right about there. And I actually also have to move this over just a bit. Okay, now let's check our distance, because if you get it right at the very beginning, it starts to make everything fit into place. So there's the distance there. If I take that and double it, look at that, right about back there. Okay, that tells me the back of his head is just beyond doubling that distance. So let me look at my drawing here, and my double is going to be about there, back ahead. Okay, that actually looks pretty accurate. So right from the beginning, you want to make sure if you see something that doesn't look like, if you see something right at the beginning that doesn't look quite right, this is the time that you want to jump in and make that adjustment. Okay, let's go ahead and create the side of his face. Look at this right here. Okay, so I'm going to put this in. This is going to help me maintain my construction. And then we want to go in with a side just like that. And that's going to give me the position of my ear. There it is right there. So my ear, and I'm not going to use curve lines for this right now. I'm just going to use some straights. I'll come back and curve it just a little bit later. All right, let's continue with the rest of the main features here. Look, there's the center line, and there's the brow line, and we call this the T of the face because it's like the letter T. So let's see here. Let's come down here now, and look at this. I'm still making some slight adjustments. Yeah, that's much better. And even this should probably come out just a little bit more. All right, we got all that in place. Now let's go ahead and get his nose. And a couple weeks ago, it may have been last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, we talked about I want to call it the Zorin Z. I think it was by Andrew Zorin. I might be wrong on that. But anyways, Andrew Zorin Z was look for this right there. You see that? That's the Z. And if we could find that, that will help with our proportion. So let's see if we could lightly put that in right now. So we're going to come like this. I already got that angle wrong. Okay. Let's go ahead and erase that now. If someone knows what that was, what artist that was, I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Okay, so let's go in and define this nose. Now look at this. This nose is just the bridge here. Look, it's kind of has a lump there, and then we're curving under, and it's definitely going way back like that. Then we've got his nostril like this. And then the wing of the nose, look, I'm just following the shape. Okay, let's come down here and construct the ball of the mouth. Ball of the mouth comes behind the nose and comes right around like this. So I'm gonna lightly put it here, and look how it comes out quite wide there. One measurement I'm kind of visually looking at the same time. I'm looking at the bottom of his ear, and I'm using a horizontal measurement, seeing like, okay, where does the mouth go? Well, the mouth is going to go line right up with the bottom of that ear. You see that? When we draw the mouth, we always like to look for the V. That's the center part of the upper lip. Let me erase that line now here. All right, look at that V. Look at the location. It's toward the tip of his nose, like this, maybe. And then we want to look for the corners of the mouth. So that's, his corners are quite a bit lower. There. Okay. Now, he really doesn't have that much of an upper lip, so we're just going to drop a line in here, and then look at that. It gets into his lower lip a little bit, and then it goes right into that crease, and then this side over here comes down. There it is. I think he's mad about something, or he's just had a long day. I think he's had a long day. And then go ahead and drop in just a little tone just for that lower lip. Look at that. Underneath that, he has that awesome chin. You see that? Look at this here. Look at the size of that chin. Now looking at that space there, how it's like almost like, look at that. It's almost the same area of the nose. You see that? So let's kind of visually use that nose as an idea of how big to make that chin. It's also at a slight angle. Look at that. Now this is one thing I absolutely love. I love straight lines, so check this out. Boom, look at that. Look at that beautiful straight line right underneath that chin. We could do that. So let's come over here and just drop that in like that. And while we're at it, look at this. Let's jump back to the back of his head here, because it's like, it's coming down right here. And then we almost have his collar taking a straight line going right back. Those are so helpful. When we find those, we definitely want to take an advantage of those. So let's see, I'm going to come down maybe right about here. And there's this collar coming in. We're always looking for extra clues. Today, I have a class called the Daily Draw. We get together every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and draw for about 30 minutes, 30. And today we were looking at portraits, and we did a deep dive into eyes. So we'll be drawing eyes for at least a couple weeks on Wednesdays. So if you're looking for extra help, by all means, I will add a link for the daily draw also in the comments as soon as we're done. All right, so there's my eye line I put in. Let's erase it now so that we can kind of see what we're working with. And when I draw eyes, I like to look for the tear ducts, and then of course the outside corners. So let's kind of establish where those might be. This tear duct is going to be to the outside of the nostril. And then this one is like right next to the nose there. You see that? We're going to go up, and then we're going to take it down. And then the bottom is curved slightly. And then we can drop in this pupil, and I'm just going to add some light tone in there. All right, other side now. Nice curve. Keeping it light right now. All right, let me just kind of do a cartoon check and check my proportion on this. Cartoon check is when you look at the picture, then you look at your drawing. Look at the picture and you look at your drawing. Okay, I definitely see that. I've got to move my eye up just a little bit. This eye here. So I'm going to erase it entirely. And I got to come up just a little bit here. Okay, I think that's much better. He's not he's not really that mad. He's just kind of looking over here. So I want to, there you go. Hey, there's Douglas. What is up, my friend? And Christina slipped in when I was busy not paying any attention. All right, great. We've got our main features in now. Let's go ahead in this little area here. It's kind of, someone told me, I'm trying to think of the official name of it. This area here, right behind your eyebrows, you know, it stands out. So it really kind of keeps things from falling into your head. And it's a great landmark all by itself. So we got this one coming in there, and look, it's coming in here. Just like that. That looks beautiful. All right, now we could kind of come back in here in the back of his head and curve it. Now look, his crown is much higher. So I've got to make a slight adjustment. All right, that looks pretty good. Now that we're in the back of the ear, let's get the ear in. And look at this. Look at this part of the ear. This is like the letter C of the ear. You see that? So let's drop that in here. And then right on the inside you have the Y of the ear. The Y of the ear. So I'm going to come like this, and then here comes the Y. It's a little bit right there, and then a big part. All right. Everything's looking pretty good so far. All right, let's come over here now and kind of like get the, the Van Dyke Z method. Thank you. Thank you. Van Dyke Z. Thank you, Helen. I knew it was out there. Thank you. All right, look, cheek is coming in here. And one thing I'm really paying attention to is this negative space from the side here to the side of his nose. That's what I'm really looking for right now. Coming in like this. This could be like a superhero villain guy, huh? Maybe? Maybe he's just a misunderstood villain guy. He's like, I just wanted to get home. All right, look. Back here at his ear, we're going to drop down his jaw just a little bit, and this goes just like that. Okay, so I think we've got plenty of our construction in now. Let's kind of move into the next phase and start working on some detail. All right, so first thing I want to do is I'm going to drop in, I'm going to look at the whole face, and I'm going to say, is this in the light or is this in the dark? And if it's in the dark, I'm going to get an even tone. If it's in the light, I'm going to leave it. So this will take a little bit of time. I'm just going to go real slow. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to just make a separation. This includes the whites of the eyes. All right, here we go. All this gets some tone. Looking closely here. Get a little tone over here. Tone underneath here. We're just doing one even tone, okay? One even tone. Once you get over here to the right side, it's just same value all the way across. And I'm going to kind of erase some of these extra lines up here. All right. Take a minute, get that down. I'm going to just kind of clean up my board here. Okay. Now let's go back in and get some of these nice wrinkles. Go in here and get a little bit more detail. So let's start, I'm going to start with his eye over here. Like he's got these two wrinkles down here. Look at that. Those look fantastic. Up here in the corner of his eye, there's like some, and this is where you just really kind of want to slow down and you want to just really look to see what you're drawing. I'll say this too. When it comes to doing portrait work, it's got to be some of the hardest work to do because there's such a high expectation. And you're only going to get good at it if you fail, because you just it just takes a long time. So look at this. Inside of his nose here is a nice darker value. So don't be so hard on yourself, but just keep going at it. I guarantee you, I always remember how difficult it was. It just takes time, repetition, and practice. I know there are no magic lessons out there. Repetition and practice. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of making my way down his face. Look, he's got red hair, but we need to add, I'm going to add some straight lines here to try and simulate this very unshaven look of a beard. I like to fill in like a general tone, general value. Then I'll come in and add my darks after the fact. All right, we've got some stubble, so let's. And he has a little bit of a cleft. And then it gets much darker underneath here. I'm not really sure how to render this stubble. Look at this dark shadow back here. Don't forget that shadow. And then if you're not sure about an area, I like to squint my eyes. Look at, and then I like, where are the darks in that area? You know. So let's see here. There's a. And once you get that line drawing down, man, it's so much more easier. But you'll get it. Just got to stay at it. Every artist out there who is good at portrait, they put the time in. That's really that's all it requires. Repetition. Repetition and time. Okay, I think I need to have a little bit more tone back here. I'm just holding my Apple pencil lightly from the back end so I could get some nice long sweeps. All right, let's see now. We've got some nice he's got some when I draw wrinkles on the forehead, I just don't draw lines. I'm envision. What's the skin like? How's the skin kind of coming together just a bit. I'm thinking through that, and I find it's really helpful when if there's a wrinkle, you ask yourself, well, what is causing that wrinkle? Where is the light that is making that wrinkle happen? If you start thinking of what's behind it, I think that you'll draw it with a lot more accuracy. And there's no benefit in drawing digitally. There's not some magic to making it easier. I suppose the best thing about drawing digitally is that you have the opportunity to easily erase. All right, look at this. Look at this collar's coming down. Where's this collar? Look at this collar's right here. And then we kind of come in this direction. And I'm just gonna leave that. I'm not gonna color it in with black. All right. Well, I think that's going to bring it to an end here. We're right up about 40 minutes. That's a good time of putting a portrait together. Hey, thank you for sticking in here and checking this out. And like I said before, if you're looking for a Facebook group, join us. We always love to see your work posted with us, and people love to comment. So, check out that in the comment section. And if you're looking for extra help, join the Daily Draw. It will really keep you on course to practice a little bit every single day. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you.